Good evening, everybody. Um, as you can see, I'm not in my normal office environment, but I decided to retire to the living room tonight, hence the dimmed lighting. And also, I haven't been feeling too great. I've been feeling quite fluey, so apologies in advance if I sound a bit stuffy. I just want to have a bit of a rant tonight. It's not about a particular subject, but it is about Jehovah's Witnesses. And I don't know why, but I just decided to try and reach out to my friend who was very close to me for around 12 years whilst I was an active Jehovah's Witness. And they haven't spoken to us since since me and my husband told them that we didn't want to be Jehovah's Witnesses anymore. That was about 3 months ago. Anyway, I thought I'd just reach out and say hello and tell her that I was missing her. And I also, gave a few home truths about the way that the organisation is going. And it was quite a lengthy text by the time that I'd finished. But there was no response. No response whatsoever. 12 years of friendship just gone because of 9 men. And now I have to forget. I have to forget that we were ever friends, that we were ever associated, affiliated, whatever. 12 years of memories just wiped out because of 9 men controlling the show. And so I was wondering how I could deal with this because, I'm a sensitive person. I have feelings, I have emotions. I miss my friends, I miss them terribly. Um, Another friend that I had for 15 years just, it's as though I've never existed. I'm sure she thinks about me now and again. She said she'd never forget me, but it's just so unnecessary. The shunning, the disfellowshipping. I mean, we can say that now that we're out looking into the organisation, which we know is all about mind control, brainwashing, and indoctrination. But you see, the disturbing thing is once upon a time, that's where I was. And I probably would have behaved in exactly the same way with them as they're behaving with me now. But it's still not pleasant. Clinically, I have to view them as doctrinal companions. Doctrinal companions, that's my new term now to help me to navigate the emotional pain because that's what it is. I mean, I would defy anybody, even with the strongest constitution, to be able to just wake up from a cult, leave it after decades of being in there, and then not be affected by it and just get on with their lives. It's just not doable. You have to go through a certain amount of pain and emotion and trauma. And that's another thing that I want to talk about as well. That I've been developing my website and my Instagram page because I'm actually doing religious trauma syndrome and spiritual abuse therapy uh, support now. I've just completed a certificate today in that area. And of course, I don't think I'll be, without number. I think once people know that I'm actually uh, doing this kind of therapy in Queensland, in Brisbane, because nobody else is doing it here, I think I will be getting quite a lot of contacts, especially ex Jehovah's Witnesses, those are the people that I want to work with. So if you're hearing this for the first time, please get in touch with me at velvetlounge.therapy@gmail.com. And I do give you a free 15-minute phone consultation just to see how I can meet your needs and tailor your healing journey with interventions that will be beneficial for you. Anyway, back to my rant. I just feel that, here's the thing. Jehovah's Witnesses, they go on the doors, they go on the carts. For what? To recruit new Bible students that will convert into baptized Jehovah's Witnesses. But then the cycle starts all over again. If that baptized Jehovah's Witness then decides that they don't want to be a Jehovah's Witness anymore, or they end up doing something that gets them excommunicated, then they will experience what we're experiencing now, those of us who are out. It's just a vicious cycle because there's no love. There is no genuine love in this organisation. I don't care what anybody says. And that's what we're looking at, outside looking in. It's just one big, massive indoctrination, brainwashing fiasco. And aren't we glad we're out of it? Despite the pain, despite the emotion, aren't all of us glad that we are out of it? Seriously. I mean, some days are good for me, other days are not so good. There's one friend in particular. We were friends for 15 years and I miss her terribly. And I'd be lying if I said that I didn't miss her. I don't think there's one day that goes by that I don't think about her in some way because we just had so much in common. And now she thinks I'm under the utterings of demons as a born again Christian. Jesus' words have never been so true when he said, "You will be hated by all nations," and you can include Jehovah's Witnesses in that because they're a worldwide religion, "on account of my name." And that's what it all boils down to. I mean, I do feel sorry for the ones that are left in. On reflection, they're trapped. But then they think that somebody like me, you know, is on a road to nowhere, to oblivion. But I know that that's not true. And I also know that I was taken out of the organisation for a reason. And that's what I've got to cling on to. And that's what I've got to hope. Because I believe, as a born again Christian, that Jesus Christ snatched me out of this organisation. And when I say snatched, it was when the time was right. He used my son to wake me up, and I was gone. One of the things that I woke up to was having it proved to me that 607 was not true and 1914 was a lie. That was the first thing that started waking me up. Yeah. And then I saw the Australian Royal Commission. Oh my goodness me. Those men, those elders, were bumbling about like the village idiots. Jesus said of his true followers, if they were in a court setting, don't worry about what you're going to say. because the Holy Spirit will give you what you need to say within the hour. These men couldn't even answer simple, basic questions because to do so would have shown their guilt and would have shown that they were very reprehensible in the way that they dealt with child sexual abuse here in Australia and subsequently the whole world. When I saw Jeffrey Jackson lie under oath, it would be presumptuous to say that we are God's only spokesman on earth when that's all they've ever said and that's all they've ever claimed to be. They must have thought people like Angus Stewart and Peter McClellan were idiots. These men had already done their research and knew more about Jehovah's Witness doctrine than the actual Jehovah's Witnesses. And we're talking, Terence O'Brien and Rodney Spinks here, high up elders within the organisation at Bethel in Australia. They hadn't got a clue because they have never ever prepared and they're not researchers. Jehovah's Witnesses think they are the bee's knees when it comes to education and knowledge. They know absolutely nothing. Zero. Nada. In fact, my cat has more knowledge about being loving and kind than they would ever have. It's just not within their remit. Well, when you get, the men at the top, the future kings, saying that they don't need to feel embarrassed to apologise when they get things wrong. It's filtered down to the lesser. And if it's good enough for the governing body to behave like idiots, then it's good enough for congregational elders to behave in exactly the same way. Bullies, abusers, liars, deceivers, manipulators. And yet my friends are under the spell. Under the spell. And all we can do is stand back and watch in horror as these beautiful people, rank and file Jehovah's Witnesses, get manipulated, lied to, deceived, have their intelligence insulted, and they haven't got a clue. They have not got a clue. So I just wanted to talk tonight just about different things, with me trying to reach out to my friend who's still in and not getting not even a thumbs up emoji, or sorry, Karen, but I can't speak to you, but I love you. None of that. And then they go out knocking on doors and doing the cart work and talking about love. Do me a favour. Give me a break. What hypocrites. But I'll tell you something. They'll need me. My friends will need me before I need them. I actually finished in my text to my friend by saying, if and when you do wake up, I'll be here to support you. You won't have to do it on your own. And that's all any of us can do, isn't it? So that's my rant, I suppose, tonight. It's not my normal way of doing videos, but I've been feeling a bit melancholic and a bit down, you could say, because it's just so unnecessary. Shunning and disfellowshipping and splitting friends and families up. It's just so unnecessary. And yet, this is what these men who are supposed to be Christ's brothers. See, here's the thing: men that are supposed to be Christ's brothers have so cleverly weaved in disfellowshipping and shunning. Jesus Christ never shunned anybody, and neither did his father. So, yeah, it's just, when you think about it, well, we know who their father is, don't we? We know that their father, like Jesus said, is Satan. You are from your father, the devil. That one was a manslayer when he began, and he didn't stand fast in the truth because the truth isn't in him. He speaks the lie according to the lie. Manslayer. The governing body have got their manslayers. Look at how many people have committed suicide as a result of their doctrines on shunning, disfellowshipping and shunning, isolating people, innocent people that have just made their minds up that they don't want to be a Jehovah's Witness anymore. The Catholic Church, if you're excommunicated, people don't stop speaking to you. They just know that you don't want to be known as a Catholic anymore, but it doesn't stop them speaking to you. But you see, with Jehovah's Witnesses, that's the control. That's the control that they exert on rank and file Jehovah's Witnesses. And that's what I said to my friend. I just said, if it was anybody else or another group of people that were practicing these things, you wouldn't have a bar of them, which just shows how much control these men have got over you. It's so sad. But I'll be okay. I'll get up from this. I mean, I've just hit a bit of a brick wall. And like I said, I've just been a bit down. But, I've got all my friends on YouTube that are always um, encouraging me. And I just want to give a shout out to Guy. Hello, Guy. I think it's been a long time coming, but you've been with me there from the get go. And I just want to thank you for all your support. And I think you're an awesome, awesome person. Anyway, folks, I'm going to leave it there. But they're just my musings, my reflections, my insights onto, you know, 3 months out of the organisation officially. And it's as though we've never existed. Never mind. Well, until next time, friends, it doesn't matter what Jehovah's Witnesses do. You be your true, authentic self. Show love at all times. Be kind. And remember to forgive often.